So Shamima Begum is back in the news. She wants to return to the UK, but should we let her? Begum left the UK with two friends on the 15th of February 2015 when she was just 15, first travelling to Turkey and then Syria. She and her friends allegedly financed their trip by theft, something that the families denied. Begum travelled on her elder sister's passport. But things didn't work out well, either for her, her friends, or ISIS. It is thought both her friends are dead and ISIS was battered into submission from all sides. She was married to an ISIS father and gave birth to three children, none of whom survived. And now she wants to come home, the same home she rejected. The UK government has revoked her citizenship, asserting that she has not been made stateless, illegal under international law, as she could claim Bangladeshi citizenship via her parents, despite being born in the UK. She wishes to appeal that decision, and the UK courts have decided that she has the right to appear in person. That is, to travel to the UK to appeal that judgment. Of course, once she is back in the UK, she is likely to be back for good, regardless of the outcome of the appeal. No state is obliged to accept her, so deporting her would almost certainly not be an option. But above and beyond questions of citizenship and rights, what interests me more is how three teenage girls came to the conclusion that travelling to a chaotic and war-torn Syria to join an Islamist death cult was a good idea. People talked in terms of grooming, reducing or removing the girls' own agency. They weren't responsible for their actions. Silly articles appeared in The Guardian comparing the girls' flight to youthful rebellion, as though planning, stealing and lying your way to Syria to insert yourself into the midst of a civil war can be compared to staying out late with a boyfriend or trying to get served in a pub. Remember that these girls were born and bred in the United Kingdom. They had access to all the news and information from the mainstream media and the internet that we all do. They weren't living in an information vacuum. Despite all that, they left the UK. That could only have happened if they wholesale rejected the portrayal of ISIS in Western and global media. They can't possibly have believed what they were being told. Now, I understand one should treat anything media tell you with a degree of skepticism. I do this myself. But stories are rarely complete fabrications. Most or many have a core of truth. These girls could not have believed a word of it, or just didn't care. What does that say about their upbringing, at home or in their wider culture? Is it possible that in an otherwise balanced environment, a person can become radicalized simply through contact with an individual or individuals online? Her parents claimed that they couldn't understand how she became radicalized. Controversial as it may seem, I'd argue that her parents started that process. Not deliberately, not with malice, but simply by transmitting their religious beliefs to their child, as their parents had done before them. True, not all ISIS fighters were brought up as Muslims, but converts are rare and have high profiles disproportionate to their numbers. There is a separate fascination with converts, who are often people struggling with their own identity or position in the world, and are tempted by the idea of a ready-made community and absolute certainty that reality cannot offer. Regardless, those who join ISIS were overwhelmingly Muslims already, and it's a stark reality, to borrow one of The Guardian's favourite phrases, that more UK Muslims have joined ISIS than have joined the British Army. Now, I don't believe you have to jump up and down waving the Union flag while singing Land of Hope and Glory to prove that you are British. In fact, I don't think you have to commit to ideas of Britishness or nationalism at all. But you do have to share certain values, or values that are broadly similar to the society within which you have made your home. And it concerns me that the rate of immigration into the UK has been so high over the past 30 years that rather than integrating into UK society, people instead have formed isolated sub-communities which allow them to reject the broader values of their adopted country. Islam encourages the adherents to see this world as unimportant. It's just the waiting room for eternity. This life is only important in as far as it determines your fate in the next. Such an attitude inclines one to think of life and the lives of others as disposable. If they are good Muslims, they will go to paradise. If not, then they deserve their fate. It makes it much easier to slaughter the innocent. So back to Miss Begum. The next few weeks may determine if she can return to the UK to appeal her citizenship from within the UK. So should she be allowed to return? There is no absolute right or wrong answer to this question. My personal feelings are that this is a person the country could do without. She is a young woman who has described herself as being unfazed by the sight of a bucket containing a severed head. I don't see any signs of genuine remorse in her behaviour, just self-pity. She hasn't decided to return because she realises the error of her ways. She's decided to return because ISIS has been defeated. In fact, she has told us that we should feel sorry for her. Well, sorry Shamima, I feel more pity for the owner of the head in the bucket. And how could she possibly become a productive member of British society? I suppose it's not impossible. She could be another Majid Nawaz, though not probable. But we can't ignore the fact that she was born in the UK, spent her life growing up in the UK, until it was revoked, was a UK citizen. This too has to be taken into consideration. Does the UK have a responsibility to ensure that she doesn't go on to cause any more Islamist-inspired chaos in the world? I shall watch this case with interest.